I'm Susan Williams. Welcome to Consumer Update. We're in the beginning of yet another hurricane season, and what are we thinking about? We're thinking about preparing. We worry about windows, the roof, even the pets, but what about your trees in your yard? Joining me today is Tony Paget from Panorama Tree Service right here in Tampa. Hi, Tony.
Hi, pleasure to meet you.
I'm glad that you're here today because it is true. We think about all those other things, even getting food stocked up, but got to think about what's outside too.
That's correct.
What particularly are we looking for as far as our trees and maybe our big shrubbery goes?
Well, some of the things you want to be careful of, you want to make sure your trees are properly trimmed and pruned. If you prune them, you eliminate some defects that may be in the tree, like what we call V-shaped crotches or codominant limbs, which have a tendency to split and pull off the tree. And then, if you want to have an elevation off your house, 10 to 15 foot. And then also an elevation off the ground, at least 10 to 15 feet.
And why is that?
Well, it cuts back on the wind, resistance from the trees.
Oh, so part of it is not just getting it away from the house so it won't fall on the house, but making it so the wind will go through it?
Well, actually, yes.
I didn't even think about that part of it. Now, is this something that your company obviously offers this service to go out and get yards prepared for the hurricane season?
Absolutely, every day.
And you go, what do? You get out to the yard and you sort of take a look around and see?
We kind of assess exactly what needs to be done to the tree, and then we communicate with the customer, and then after that we get out there and get it done.
And get it done. Is this something that maybe people should not wait till now to think about and be doing all along?
Absolutely. You want to, especially before the hurricane season comes, you want to go ahead and have your trees pruned and trimmed. That cleans out the interior, the new buds, and also eliminates defects that may be in the tree, like I mentioned earlier, the V-shaped crotches.
And that means that it could easily split off, like you said,
correct.
that would and possibly damage your structure. So people, is there anything that as a homeowner that I can even see if I go outside and know, ooh, I better get this taken care of? Absolutely.
If you go out and you look at one of the biggest reasons is the codominance in larger oak trees, and so if you'll go out and take a look, and you should be able to put the palm of your hand in the center of where the what we call the crotch, or where it actually
starts
parenting
from. Okay.
So if you see a V there, then it has a tendency to split and peel.
And what does codominance mean?
It means two limbs competing for dominance.
Oh.
And there should only be one main trunk.
Okay. What about, is it possible for a tree to get top heavy and actually pull out from the ground and topple over completely?
Yes, that can happen as well. You can have somebody come out and give you an inspection and look at the tree, and then they can evaluate if that's happening. And
as part of the whole problem too, maybe trees not having enough, I guess, openings in them for the wind to pass through. Is that something we need to look for?
That's a good point as well. You want to make sure that the tree is not inundated with new buds in the center that gives resistance to wind.
Okay. Now, I've always been taught growing up that certain things need to be pruned at certain times of the year. Is that true with the larger trees as well? I mean, what about the time to prune and how much to even prune? I mean, what's safe to take off and what's not?
Well, typically you want to prune during spring or right before spring. Different species of trees are different, so typically in the springtime is the best time to start.
To start it. And what about, you said it's about 10 to 15 feet
elevation off the roof?
From the roof.
That's
right. And what about anything else we should look for as far as enough space or room?
You also want to remain about, if you got large trees that are close to the house, you want to be about 10 or 15 foot away from the sides of the house.
Okay.
And you want a 10 to 15 foot elevation off on the trees from the ground up.
And why is that?
Well, you have lower lying limbs. Ideally, you want all your tree limbs to be in a 45-degree angle or more, all the limbs. Anything that's hanging down, if you're cutting your grass, and it presents a lot more wind resistance.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good idea. Well, let's just say that, we do all the right things, but still we have trees come down or branches. What does Panorama do after the storm comes through?
Well, you can give us a call and we'll come out and, we can cut anything that's already fallen down. We'll be glad to get it off your grounds or your house or whatever that you need.
What can you tell people about having a professional company such as yours come out other than just doing it themselves?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What would you tell people that want to do this themselves? What would you tell them why they should hire a professional company, people that know what they're doing?
Oh, because there's a lot of safety issues involved in running a chainsaw, and also, you know, you have permitting laws as well that you want to make sure that you're adhering to. And if you can go to our website really indicates a lot of that stuff. More stuff than we could possibly talk about today.
Great, and what's your website?
It's panoramatreeservice.com.
Okay, wonderful. So there it is right there up on the screen right now. We are really, really happy that you were here, Tony, because it's something I've never thought about before. I've thought about all the other things since I've lived here my life, but never thought about getting the trees and the plants and the shrubs ready. So thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Tony Padgett, for being here with us from Panorama Tree Service. Coming up next, what if the storm does hit our area? Will we be able to get by without power? Up next, air quality control shows us how your life could go on without interruption, even if the rest of your block goes without power.